It's happening right now. The largest concentration of American naval firepower in years, what the president calls a beautiful armada. It's parking itself off the Iranian coastline. The threat, an attack that would make the massive strikes of 2025 look like peanuts. Tehran is responding with apocalyptic warnings, putting suicide drones on religious TV shows and telling America that if it sows the wind, it will reap the whirlwind. The Middle East is standing on the absolute edge of a major war. Here is how it got here, and why America's allies are terrified of what happens next. The Pentagon has officially confirmed that the USS Abraham Lincoln carrier strike group has transitioned fully into the Middle Eastern theater. They are joined by at least 3 guided missile destroyers, an undisclosed number of submarines, and squadrons of F-15E Strike Eagles redeployed to Jordan. This brings the total US troop count in the region to roughly 50,000. The question, why now? The immediate trigger was human rights. Iran threatened the imminent mass execution of over 800 protesters, but Washington is using this moment to push for something bigger, a definitive end to Iran's nuclear ambitions, and they are doing it with a level of military threat we haven't seen in decades. President Trump isn't mincing words about this deployment. He's explicitly linking this new armada to the events of last summer, the massive Operation Midnight Hammer strikes in June 2025 that targeted Iranian nuclear sites.
In June, we obliterated Iran's nuclear capacity in Operation Midnight Hammer. You saw that. People have been waiting for 22 years to do that, and we were right at the end. They were about a month away from having a nuclear weapon. We had to do it. And by the way, there's another beautiful armada floating beautifully toward Iran right now. So we'll see. I hope they make a deal. I hope they make a deal.
He hopes for a deal, but the stick he's waving is enormous. Regarding those nearly 900 protesters slated for execution in Iran, Trump issued a warning that makes it clear the US military is ready to go far beyond targeting just nuclear sites this time.
837, mostly young men, were going to be hung on Thursday. And I said, if you hang those people, you're going to be hit harder than you've ever been hit. It'll make what we did to your Iran nuclear look like peanuts.
If Washington thought this shock and awe diplomacy would make Tehran fold immediately, they were wrong. The Iranian regime is signaling both to the world and to its own people that they are ready for a head-on collision. Their foreign ministry spokesperson Ismail Baghei immediately dismissed the threats, claiming Iran's military evolution since the 2025 strikes has been substantial.
از توانمندی فوق‌العاده‌ای برای دفاع از خودمون برخوردار هستیم. بسیار آماده تر از گذشته و مسئولیت ماست، وظیفه ماست برای دفاع از عزت و حاکمیت ملی و تمامیت سرزمینی ایران.
But the real message is being sent on the streets of Tehran. Just this Sunday, a massive new mural was unveiled in the central square. It depicts a US aircraft carrier in flames, its flight deck littered with destroyed American jets. The slogan, written in both Farsi and English, reads, "If you sow the wind, you will reap the whirlwind." And the domestic propaganda has taken a surreal turn. On January 23rd, to mark the Day of the Guardian for the Paramilitary Revolutionary Guard, state television aired a religious talk show. But instead of just prayers, clerics and singers sat next to military hardware. They actually fired up the engines of Shahed suicide drones, the same type used by Russia in Ukraine, right there in the TV studio. An aerospace officer of the Revolutionary Guard used the airtime to taunt the US president directly.
Trump میاد بیان میکنه که من مثل شاهد 136 رو میخوام میسازن یه گرونه مثل ایرانیا بتازی پرنده یعنی چی؟ یعنی زمانی که پرواز میکنه اونها رو
You have an immovable object meeting an unstoppable force. But here is the complication that makes a US strike incredibly difficult. America's allies in the region want no part of it. The United Arab Emirates, a crucial hub for Western activity, has officially declared neutrality. They have stated they will not allow their airspace, territory, or waters to be used for offensive strikes against Iran. They fear Iranian retaliation against their cities like Dubai and Abu Dhabi. This leaves the US relying on carrier-based aircrafts and distant bases, complicating logistics immensely. Meanwhile, a frantic diplomatic back channel is open. Reports indicate that Qatar, Turkey, and Saudi Arabia are acting as middlemen, passing messages between Washington and Tehran, trying to find an off-ramp before a miscalculation plunges the entire region into war. US and Iran are past the point of mere saber rattling. This is brinksmanship in its purest, most dangerous form. The next few days will determine if these two adversaries can find a diplomatic exit or if the whirlwind Iran promised is about to be unleashed.